Serious, what's the most scary thing you have seen that you can't get out of your head? I found a dead body when I was a kid. I had seen dead people before, but it was like in funerals and stuff, unsettling and weird but not terrifying. They just looked like a wax doll version of themselves. But the dead homeless guy I found didn't look like that. It was the first time I felt mortal. The realization that people are just meat, that we all rot, it fucked me up so bad. I was 11. I was never the same again after that. When I was 13 years old, I was headed to bed in my room where my brother also stayed. It was the middle of the night and I was still up. He has a tendency to sleep talk, but this night he was like chanting. I was freaking out just looking over at him. Then I glanced at the window near his bed and there was someone in the window staring at him, and it looked like they were egging him on. Like hearing him and celebrating it. I leapt out of bed to the middle of the room and started going towards him, and then he stopped. I look over and there was no one there outside the window. But the neighborhood street lamp adjacent to the street outside just bursted. I was helping a neighbor get hay bales off the field. He ran the baler and I ran a tractor with hay forks to move the bales off to the side of the field. One trip out I noticed him untangling the string in the back of the nailer, with it wide open. When I returned for more bales, the back was closed and I couldn't see my neighbor. Took the next bale to the edge of the field and back for more. Still his tractor sat in the same spot, engine still running, so I got out to see if he was having problems. There is a safety latch on the back of the baler to keep it open. This one had failed. My neighbor was lying, half on the ground outside the baler, half inside the baler, connected by a thin mush that used to be his abdomen. My little brother was terminal, cancer. It was coming to the end of things. I could kind of feel it coming eventually, but I thought maybe a few months more, at least until Christmas of that year. One night, a few of his friends had just left after visiting. We had a lot of visitors over the course of him being in hospital, the diagnosis of cancer, then the diagnosis that it was terminal. He was fine saying goodbye, a little tired, but that was normal since he was literally dying. He took a mixture of a stroke and a seizure in one go, literally after they got into their parents' cars. He was sitting in the bed we had been provided and he tried to say something to me, but it was slurred like he had been drinking all day. I freaked and called for my parents because I had no idea what was going on. My dad said, "I think he's having a stroke," and that was it for me. I hit full panic, ready to call an ambulance until I realized there's no point. He's dying. What are they going to do? His doctor came out the next morning and told us he thought my brother had about a week or two left. He died 3 days after that, but that night is stuck in my head. The other thing that won't leave is when the funeral home took his body away in a body bag. I screamed. I don't remember screaming, but my cousin does because she said she's never heard anything like it before. When I was around 7, I owned this hella creepy doll that my uncle gave me. I was playing with the thing one day, for some reason, when my sister, who was in the room, screamed at me to look out the window I was sitting in front of. There was this lanky, thin man that was just staring me down. He was like right in front of the window. He had stupidly big eyes that seemed that they would never blink. He then slowly revealed a thin, bony hand and pointed at the doll I was still holding, then gestured me to give it to him. I didn't. He fucking punched the window. The shattering glass made a huge cut on my arm, and my sister, who was still in the room and had just witnessed all of the shit, yanked me by my shirt and ran with me to our mom to tell what shit just happened and to get my arm bandaged. Long story short, 1, Mom called police. 2, police didn't find man. And to this day, I still think about how my stupid ass didn't notice that man standing in front of me.